Sir, on the 3rd of December 2001, this Honorable House was pleased to pass the amendment bill. The Lok Sabha has also passed it on the 3rd of May 2002, which has resulted in certain consequential amendments. These two amendments are one in the enacting formula and one in the short title of the bill. Sir, I beg to move that the amendments made by the Lok Sabha in the Indian Succession Act, Indian Succession Amendment Bill 2001 be taken into consideration, namely enacting formula at page 1 for 52nd, substitute 53rd, and in clause 1 at page 1 line 3 for 2001 substitute 2002.
Motion moved. Those in favor please say aye. Aye. Those against it please say no. I think ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the motion is adopted. Arun Jaitley?
Sir, I move the amendment.
Question is that the amendments made by the Lok Sabha in the bill be agreed to. Those in favor please say aye. Aye. Those against it please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, ayes have it. The amendments are agreed to. Delimitation Bill 2002. Arun Jaitley?
Sir, I beg to move that the Delimitation Bill 2002, as approved by the Lok Sabha, be taken into consideration by this Honourable House and be approved by this Honourable House. Sir, both Houses of Parliament had approved the 84th Amendment to the Constitution, and pursuant to the approval of the 84th Amendment, more than half the state assemblies had granted their consent to the amendment, and the same has since been notified. The three principal features of that amendment were that a fresh delimitation of constituencies both for the Lok Sabha and for the state assemblies be conducted on basis of the last available figures of the census, that's 1991. The total number of seats for the Lok Sabha, both at the national level and for each state, be frozen till the year 2026, as also the number of seats in every state assembly be frozen till 2026. With regard to the constituencies reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe candidates, 1991 population be taken as the basis. After the approval of this constitution amendment and its coming into force, it has now become necessary, sir, to have a new delimitation bill, a delimitation act, which will be the basis on which the fresh delimitation would be conducted, sir. Sir, this is now necessary because of an uneven growth in the population, as also migration of a large part of the rural population to urban centers. The size of the constituencies itself has become uneven. There are constituencies to the Lok Sabha, for instance in Delhi, which have a size of about 3.5 lakhs. There is another constituency which is close to 30 lakhs. And therefore, the present delimitation bill has been proposed. We may recollect, sir, that on earlier occasions, in 1952, in 1962, and then in 1972, delimitation has been specifically conducted. The last delimitation came into force on the 1st of December 1976. The present bill, sir, has several features. It provides for a new delimitation commission to be set up, the composition of which is that it would be headed by a person who is a sitting or a retired judge of the Supreme Court. The Chief Election Commissioner or an election commissioner nominated by the Chief Election Commissioner would be an ex officio member. Similarly, the State Election Commissioner would also be a member of this delimitation commission. Sir, along with it, there would be members who have been elected to the Lok Sabha from a state and members who have been elected to a state assembly, 5 of them to be nominated by the Speaker in proportion to the composition of the House who would be nominated. The bill also gives a detailed procedure which the Delimitation Commission has to follow. It also makes gives an indication as to the factors that would be taken into consideration while conducting the delimitation. These are contained in clause 9 of the bill itself. It mentions that as far as practicable, all constituencies would be broadly similar in size. They would also give due respect to the physical features, the existing boundaries and of the administrative units and various facilities for communication and public conveniences. An effort would be made to ensure that every assembly constituency is so delimited that it falls entirely within one parliamentary constituency. Constituencies which are reserved for the scheduled caste candidate, care would be taken to see that these are those constituencies where the scheduled caste population is comparatively large. Now, the word comparatively large has been used in contradistinction to constituencies which are to be reserved for the scheduled tribe candidates where the population is to be the largest. This distinction is necessary to make sure that all the scheduled caste constituencies do not get concentrated only in a particular part of the state, so that they are, in other words, they are spread out across the state. But scheduled tribe constituencies would be those where the population of the scheduled tribes is the largest itself. This, along with several other procedural provisions, are contained in this particular bill, sir. It is anticipated that the Delimitation Commission would take about 2 years to finalize its recommendations, which would then be notified. But I do hope that with all the modern facilities available, particularly computers, etc., and particularly when the number of constituencies is not to be changed, but reallocation is to take place, even this period of 2 years can be brought down, so that before the next general election, we have the delimitation of constituencies, which will be well in order, so that people know which are the constituencies and the political parties know which constituencies are relevant from their point of view, sir. With these few comments, sir, I commend to this Honourable House that the bill be taken into consideration and approved.